Howdy ho, everybody. Okay, as it turns out, there are some dimension settings that are incorrect in the files that I gave you for the house assignment. If you look, it's evident when you get to dimensions. And you see when I have things set and configured the way that they actually need to be, or let me restate that. When I place my dimensions, they do not appear correct. And what I've done is I've created a little script, and this script will correct all those settings for you. Um, Incredibly long story short, there's some behavioral things, and it'll make things look better, I promise. So go to Blackboard, and down at the very bottom of the list under class resources, you will see dimension fix .zip. Download that. When you right click and say extract all, actually, because I have something else installed, I have a different program that it'll run with. But when you extract your file, you'll be left with this file that's a .scr extension. Now, the way to make AutoCAD use this is actually incredibly easy. Have a folder open with your zip file in it, and take a look at, or open up your AutoCAD file, and highlight the script file, left click, drag and drop on top of your AutoCAD window. That's it. That's all you have to do to make this right. Now I want to show you what some of the things that what that fixed real quick. So I'm going to undo my way back out of that. Okay. So you see how the dimensions here are reading horizontally instead of vertically. You also see how these dimensions, they're well outside the area where the extension line for the dimension ought to, and it's not consistent. And this is one of the things that bothers me. But fractions are reading stacked vertically instead of diagonally, and this particular script file is going to fix all of that stuff. So all you have to do after you download the zip file, after you extract the script file out of the zip file, drag and drop, left click, drag and drop your script file on top of your AutoCAD drawing in your AutoCAD application. Now you'll notice that the dimensions are now aligned properly. My dimensions are stacked diagonally instead of vertically. But you'll also notice, and this is a setting that's very, very different, you'll notice that the dimensions, if the dimension text does not fit in between, in between the dimension lines, you'll notice that the dimension text now sits out onto the side. Now, I need to explain a sort of a behavioral thing that goes along with this. Whichever side the text is on is also the order in which you click to create your dimensions. I'll show you what that means here. I'll delete these. I'll delete this 6-inch dimension here, and I'll show you what that means. I'll zoom in just a little bit more so you can see what's going on. So I'm going to say I'm currently on my dimension layer, and I will create a dimension. If I click, if the first 2 points that you click establish the object that you're actually measuring. So my first click is to the left. My second click goes to the right. With this particular dimension setting, left to right means my text is going to be on the right side of the dimension string. Okay? But if I dimension the exact same thing, but I go from right to left, then the text is going to be on the left-hand side of my dimension string. This is a different way that you can use to control what side of the dimension string that your text is going to appear on. It actually can affect readability quite a lot. Another thing that happens if you get a couple of cases where things are just not, there's really nowhere to put it. For example, this 1 foot 2 inch dimension right here. Well, if I use the default location, and I'm just going to set this back real quick. Okay, I'll just delete it. We'll do it that way instead. Okay. So if my text, if I click from left to right, so that my text is on the right-hand side of my dimension string, you'll notice that 1'2", it's in a bad spot. You know, it's just nowhere where it can really be read. However, if I place my dimension string, or if I place my dimension going from right to left, and I'm left with that same 1'2" dimension, you'll see it still overlaps the 3-foot dimension that I have sitting here. No matter which direction I go, it's just not going to read. Well, one of the nice things, at least I think it's a nice thing, that AutoCAD 2018 has added is when you place a dimension and you go to modify it with grips. So I'm going to select my dimension. I'm going to hover over this blue grip for my 1'2" dimension. I'm just going to hover over. I now have the options on what graphic variables are associated with moving the text. And what I can do is I can just move this text with a leader line so that there's going to be a leader associated with that particular dimension. It's just a handy little thing. This particular option was not available in the previous version of AutoCAD. It's actually a really handy way to do it because you can place your dimensions and then move them where you need them. Now, that's basically the script file. And also, as you can see, we've got some dimensions here with fractions in them. I've noticed that between 4 8.5 and 4 9.5, well, if I want these to be evenly spaced, I can just stretch my window a 1/2 inch in that direction. And now they're both 4'9". They're nice and equal, which is what I wanted. So there are some other things that are going to go on. I'm going to recover actually, how to place dimensions on your plan, because I know it's a big deal for you guys. I want you guys to kind of understand the principles of what's going on here. So the script file to fix your dimensions has to be done in every single drawing. There's just no way around it. So you'll open up a drawing, and sorry about that, it's the wrong thing. There we go. You'll open up a Explorer window so that you can see. Remember how we drag and drop to insert a file? This is the exact same thing. But in every single drawing for the housing project, highlight the script file, not the zip file. Highlight the script file. It's just a left click, drag and drop. It changes your dimension settings and it automatically saves your drawing. So what you can do is you can actually open every single file for your project, drag and drop the script file drag and drop your script onto that AutoCAD file, close the drawing because the drawing will automatically be saved. Drag and drop close until everything is done. I'll give you an example kind of what that looks like. I'll open up multiple drawings here. I just got done with 101. I'm going to look at all the other ones. Where was I? No. Oh, I know where I'm at. No wonder I'm not. There we go. So I can literally highlight and open every single file I've got. So this is something that you guys will be able to do. This will take a second, and I apologize. So you can see I've already got quite a few things started. Some of you are actually a little further ahead than I am. Some of you are already working on your interior elevations, and that's a good thing. Okay, so here I am. I probably have maybe one more file to open, or is that it? No, it looks like that's it. Okay. So take your script, and it doesn't matter if you're paper space, model space, whatever. It really doesn't matter. Drag and drop the script on top of your AutoCAD file. Now, if we look in our text doc, the last command of all the things that were done was save. You can also tell because there's not a little asterisk up here over by the file name. So drag and drop, close the file. Back to your Explorer window, drag the script onto your AutoCAD file. See, stop, go away. See right there it says save. That's the last command that was done. So drag and drop, and then close. And then drag and drop, and close. And this is all you have to do. drag and drop, and close. So just work your way through every single file in your project with this particular script. And it's telling me that the file has changed. Well, yeah, it's because I saved it. So as these files are all linked to one another, drag and drop and close. Now I could have included the close command in the script file, but I decided against it because I did not want you guys to think that something was exploding. Drag and drop, close, drag and drop, close. Yeah, there we go. And drag and drop and close. And in order to use the script, really that's the only thing that you guys have to do. So in the next video, I'm going to go over dimensioning again, just as sort of a refresher as it applies to this particular project so that you guys know what's going on. Excuse me, still getting over being gooky. All right, thanks a lot. We'll catch you in the next video.